What a scapegoat I am. They're trying to blame me for what goes on in this city in the way of crime. Our customers are honest citizens.
A blatant and calculated strategy that is forcing Maura Siegel to close up the gun shop her family has run for 57 years. A well-thought-out plan by cities across California, burdening businesses with taxes no one can afford to pay, and in the end, guns no one will be able to buy.
My business tax used to be $1.20 per thousand, and it got bumped up to $24 per thousand. They don't want gun shops in this city, and that's what they're doing. If they can't legislate, they just tax you out of business.
Their agenda was to eliminate firearms any way they could. This is the easiest way, is to tax everything that comes out of a store. And I've seen a number of businesses fall in the last 10 years.
If we're out of business, there will be no Second Amendment rights.
They're stripping people of their gun ownership rights, is what they're doing. If people can't shop at a store like this, they can't buy guns. And that's exactly what their intent is.
An assault from all angles, gun dealers being forced out, and competitive shooters who may have to move out for a shot at the Olympic gold. 18-year-old Lauren Santabanez of San Diego already has a record of national and international titles, but she soon may have another record, a criminal one.
I never saw this coming. Just for being a competitive athlete, I would be labeled a criminal.
Lauren's custom-made target pistol is now categorized as an assault weapon under California's new gun law because of its design. Outlawed just like tens of thousands of other pistols and rifles used by competitive shooters throughout the state.
The law, the way it stands now, it will probably kill Olympic-style shooting in California.
Olympic dreams threatened, but still, that doesn't muster much sympathy from the author of this gun ban. In fact, Senator Don Parada of Oakland could only offer Lauren this bit of advice, quote, "If Olympic shooting is her goal, she may be better off living in Texas."
I was kind of offended by that comment because I have my whole life here, and at the time I was a high school student, and you can't just tell a high school teenager to just go pack off to Texas.
This was totally ridiculous.
Our gun laws are making the guns she wants to use in an Olympic competition illegal. That's nuts. That is completely and absolutely nuts.
Olympic athletes now joining the ranks of other law-abiding gun owners who have been labeled instant criminals. Also in the line of fire, handgun owners soon to be victims of a proposed massive licensing and registration scheme. A scheme with just one goal in mind.
We'll take every gun away there is in the nation. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh, this is a way to confiscation. This is a file card. This is a way to confiscation. And the new registration card is set up exactly to give them the proper information to come back later on and seize the gun.
I see eventually they're going to take that list and they're going to come to your door and say, "Where's your gun?" They're already registered when you purchase the handgun. Why do they need another list?
I do believe registration would lead to confiscation. It's a perfect paper trail to go right back and say, hey, you have all these things, we want them.
All guns are going to end up on their list. They want them totally banned. That's what's eventually going to happen. I hope I'm not around when it does.
Registration and confiscation. A total ban on the rights of honest citizens to own a firearm, and an ever-expanding list of gun laws that won't infringe on the ability of criminals to get their guns.
It's posturing politicians, because we have enough laws in place, and they don't enforce the ones they have. I mean, what they need to do is clamp down on the people that abuse the system.
If you take somebody that commits a crime with a gun and actually prosecute them and actually put them in jail, well, they probably won't do it again. But when you have people that continually commit crime after crime after crime after crime after crime, and they just keep walking away, well, when are they going to take it serious?
If I could say anything to the politicians, it would be that you need to start enforcing the laws that are on the books and quit trying to make up new laws that are only going to affect law-abiding citizens. Go after the criminals.
So, do we need more laws? No. Do we need to enforce the laws we have? Absolutely.
Enforce the laws on the street and just leave my guns alone.
This is the upside-down world of gun control being played out in California, where plenty of politicians and police chiefs, like LA's Chief Bernard Parks, still insist on banning all small affordable handguns and push mandatory registration to help combat crime. But the U.S. Supreme Court has already made it very clear in Haynes v. U.S. that convicted felons can't be required to register a firearm because it's a violation of their Fifth Amendment rights, self-incrimination. So who's kidding who?
It's only the law-abiding citizens who are going to have their guns confiscated that have to go through all this extra registering. The criminals don't have to do it.
Well, since when did they get all the rights and I don't have any? You know, that's my problem. It's all it is. It's all backwards, completely turned around. The criminals have all the rights and the honest citizen has none.
A dangerous game of politics that only denies the law-abiding the right to protect themselves from a system that refuses to.
How are we going to be protected, especially someone like me who lives out in the backcountry and there's no law out there until they get there?
What you end up doing is make it so that the criminal has the advantage. Now, if the police could be at your house in 20 to 30 seconds every single time you call them, this wouldn't be a problem. But they can't.
In fact, Los Angeles, a leader in the victim disarmament movement, has seen its violent crime rate jump 7.5% in the past year. Proof its gun control schemes have backfired.
I really predict a bleak future, and no new laws are going to stop that. The criminals are going to do what they always have done and what they want to do, and crime's going to go up.
It typifies a mindset that your constitutional rights, your freedoms are irrelevant. It's whatever we, the government, want to do, and we're going to go after you regardless.
Laws that aren't being enforced, and a political agenda forcing honest citizens into obeying laws they don't understand. Calculated confusion led by an unholy alliance of anti-gun politicians and trial lawyers.
Without question. Once they figure they've gotten all the guns away, the political will to eliminate the Second Amendment will be there.
This is not a case of a camel's nose under the tent or the slippery slope. These are people who are pushing an agenda, who are well-financed by the liberal foundations making multi-million-dollar block grants, and who have the media in their pockets.
California gun owners now realizing their worst nightmare. Registration is not the end, it's just the beginning of the end.
I believe in my heart that the state of California, the politicians, want to remove all firearms from the homes of our citizens.
If you get California to go along and fall in line, then pretty much they feel they can just start working state by state by state.
That's why this election season, those who have lived it have a resounding, compelling warning for Americans concerned about protecting their personal freedoms.
What happens in California, watch out. It's going to hit the other 50 states through our federal government later. So if we can't stop it in California, we're in trouble.
You just better wake up and start fighting for your rights, because they're going to come and take your guns away. It's what it boils down to.
You need to protect your rights. As they take away your guns, they're going to take away your other liberties eventually.
Vote. Vote for the people who are on our side.
I think that what the gun owners need to do is to be organized, and probably the best way is to join the National Rifle Association and support it as the best they can.
Of course, I strongly suggest you get involved with the NRA.
Well, if it wasn't for the NRA, we would have total gun confiscation today.
Join the NRA.
Tell the average citizen, tell the city council, tell elected officials, tell the government that you do not want your rights infringed.
Their rights to own a firearm is under attack, and the only way they're going to circumvent that system is to go to the polls and vote for those people that will support the Second Amendment rights.